Hallo, Dr. Blessing. Guten Abend. Dieser Abend spreche ich über das Thema schwachen Verben and starken Verben. So we'll start here, and mostly I'm going to have Willow, the cat, help me with this, and then the guy with the beard that's on my German notebook. So you can see them now. Here they are. That is Willow, die Katze, and ein Mann, ihre Freund vielleicht, ich weiß nicht. I chose to focus on schwachen Verben and starken Verben and a couple related things because I think that even though I've been taking German classes for 2 years and then done this class and then 6.5 weeks of immersion between last summer and this summer, I still find the past tense, especially perfect conjugations, to be hard. So I'm going to start with some schwachen Verben. Here, we're going to cover that guy up. I have some verbs related to the cats that I looked up. Klettern, spielen, kämpfen, kratzen, jagen, schnurren, pinkeln in das Katzenklo. And then you can see here underlined the endings for the normal endings for present tense. Zum Beispiel, eine Sätze, hier ist Willow und manchmal sie schnurrt. She purrs. Also, some examples with meowen, which I think you would say is a schwachen Verben. The only thing I noticed is that it does drop at the E in a couple different places, but for the most part it seems to follow the patterns of with the endings with the regular, or that, sorry, not regular, but the weak verbs. So we have, for example, Willow miaut oder gestern miaute Willow oder Willow hat gemiaut, weil sie draußen gehen wollte. And there we can see the hat plus meowen, which comes out as gemiaut with the ge at the beginning, and then the stem of meow, and then the T, or an ET in this case, a T ending. Okay, hier sind starken Verben. We have a few cat words here: schlafen, trinken, spinnen, which I looked up was for purring. It happens to be a synonym, a regional synonym for purring. And then essen. And we have some change of vowels that happens in schlafen, which is something that happens with starken Verben. For example, ich schlafe, aber sie schläft. And in Präteritum, Willow schlief auf dem Sofa, oder perfekt, sie hat den ganzen Tag geschlafen. And I think that schlafen is, even though it gets the ge, instead of getting a T or ET at the end, it does the schlafen. So yeah, it doesn't follow the rules for strong verb, or for weak verbs. Then when we talk about this, it's also important to talk about, when we're talking about different types of verbs, the mixed verbs. And I used an example you had. I was trying to connect it to the cats. And so I picked nennen. So diese Katze nennt Willow, so present, aber ihre gestorbene Schwester genannt Millie, Präteritum, genannt. So we have that vowel change, E, and then what we'd say in English, an E to an A, but A. And then for speaking, ich habe meine andere Katze Foster genannt. So ich habe andere Katze, und sie heißt Foster. Aber Foster ist in die, ich glaube in mein Schlafzimmer. Okay, we should also talk about irregular verbs and how they relate to this whole idea of theme of different types of verbs. They of course have irregular conjugations. For example, sein has irregular conjugations in both the present and the past. Oder Präteritum, present, Präteritum und perfekt. So Willow ist alt, present. Willow war draußen, Präteritum. And I'm not sure if this one works. I was trying to do an example of perfect. Willow ist Kätzchen gewesen. So trying to say Willow was a kitten. And also, when we talk about the different types of verbs, we have the modal verbs. So for thinking about present, Willow will den Fisch essen. Gestern wollte sie nicht, shouldn't be das, it should be die Haustier futtern essen. And sie hat nicht das Essen gewollt. So gestern hat sie nicht das Essen gewollt. So for me, this was a good thing to review because I know it's something that, yes, go over in German 1, and but hearing new verbs all the time and just really thinking about the patterns, paying more attention to the starken Verben, and knowing that I need to memorize a lot more of those. But also, like I said at the beginning, just when I looked up some of those verbs related to the cats, finding out that they were weak verbs was pretty cool, because I was able to go, hey, you know, purr isn't like a everyday word that you use when you only have studied German for a couple years, but look, this verb, schnurren, conjugates like a weak verb, so that was really cool to see. Anyway, thank you. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss.